Cryptocurrencies have been making headlines recently. The cryptocurrency market has experienced yet another major correction for the second time in a week, as the price of both major and small cryptocurrencies fell by large margins. Well, I asked Mohammed alsehli, the founder and CEO of Arabianchain technology, what his advice is for investors.
First of all, cryptocurrencies are like any other market. When you have people, when you have supplies and demands, and you have greed that plays into the middle, a lot of movements are happening and will happen. And since there is the lack of a centralized place that kind of, limits the movement up or down, then the volatility becomes really higher in those markets. Volatility could be good and could be bad. It depends. If you're an experienced, trader, that's actually very good for you. If you know these cycles, if you know these trends, and you get into the right, at the right time and get out at the right time, then you'll make a lot of profit. My advice usually for people who are just, starting to notice this movement and wanting to invest is to do a little bit of research, and then to try to diversify, not to put all your eggs in one basket.
Should there be more regulation in place, do you think, when it comes to cryptocurrencies?
More regulation will dictate that we already have some regulation. We have almost none. So, the whole conversation of deciding what are cryptocurrencies, are they commodities, are they currencies, well, how do we deal with them? If you say it's a commodity, then you can add taxation on top of that VAT. If they are a currency, then you don't tax it and they fall under central banks. So it's a whole kind of, an identity crisis at the moment. It's like, what are these things? And in my opinion, some of the cryptocurrencies you cannot actually put them in the existing classes today. So they are not a commodity, they are not cash, they are something just new. It's a new asset. And that means it will require, new sets, new rules of, new sets of regulations and new rules.
Do you think that 2018 is going to be the year of blockchain?
Absolutely, yes. Why is that? And this is not just because of cryptocurrencies, actually, it's because of the adoption that is happening to the concept of blockchain when it comes to government services, when it comes to businesses. When you see the big players in the market, especially when it comes to technologies, for example, IBM, Microsoft, Google, all of the big guys, they are now talking blockchain, trying to implement use cases, working with governments. Like in Dubai, they're trying to be the blockchain capital of the world right now.
How can blockchain unlock potential and benefit economies?
Imagine if you can just trade real estates and properties, sell and buy houses like you are sending WhatsApp messages. As easy as that. You can just, trade properties while you're sitting at home. This is one of the potential things that comes through it. Tokenization of assets. Not only, real estate, you're talking about any kind of assets, cars, mobile phones, whatever it is, as long as it's a thing that you can tokenize, represent in a digital identity and form, and then that thing could be transmitted over the blockchain network. That means you are transmitting the ownership of that. So it's not just sending an information, it's actually sending the actual value or the actual ownership of a thing over the blockchain. That's a lot of potential, and hopefully we'll capture